Hi guys, it's your old pal RL Poole, and welcome back to the channel Talking to Leedskalnin. We have some huge announcements today that I kind of can't believe, but it all seems to be coming together at the right time. Uh, the first announcement is that the book is out. The Leedskalnin Codex, Breakthroughs in Understanding the Coral Castle. And if you follow the link below, you'll be able to find that book available for purchase on Amazon. And you can get it in paperback, and the Kindle version is going to drop on January 31st. In that spirit, Coast to Coast AM has very graciously and unexpectedly invited me back to discuss the new book the day before the book drops in digital. And I'm very excited to be back on there. Follow the link below to see me on the schedule, and be sure to tune in. And I wanted to mention too that if you're not a coast to coast insider, I really recommend that you do. I am a Coast Insider. I really like it. I like being able to go back through the archives and listen to old shows and look for things that pique my interest. I get nothing for saying that. They've just been amazing, and I believe in supporting that. The next announcement is that I will also be getting interviewed by Tessa Thomas on Spaced Out Radio on Sunday, February 23rd, again, to talk about the new book. Now, I know you might think that when you've heard one interview, you've heard them all, but I've found after doing a few of them, that's not really the case. Uh, Different interviewers have different perspectives and different takes, and they ask things sometimes that allow me to discuss something that I wouldn't have thought to be brought up myself. So I really encourage you to, if you're interested in this subject and in these discoveries, that it would really serve you, I think, to listen to all of the interviews that you can. I'd also like to thank every single person who has been so generous with their time and their support and their encouragement to me to keep going and to not give up, and that they believe in um, the work that I'm doing. And I am looking forward to seeing the response to the book, the kind of discussion that it creates, and I really do hope to change the way that people see Ed Leedskalnin and the Coral Castle. He wasn't a lonely guy who built it for a lost love. Yeah, I believe it was so much more than that. And what I have found through all of the research that I've done, when you total it up and you put it all together, the sum of its parts really seem to indicate, at least to me, that the Coral Castle is not the accomplishment. It is the evidence of something much, much bigger. And this is what I discuss in the book, is that it is not the Coral Castle that is the pinnacle achievement of Ed Leedskalnin's life. It was the evidence of it. I believe it was the evidence of a new form and a new understanding of physics that has the possibility of changing the world. He was also very focused on astronomical observations, and his understanding, again, is much different than ours. And it seems like he was able to combine these. And I know at first you may think, what do planets and celestial alignments have to do with it? But when you understand how Ed saw them, and he saw them, and he says himself, the Earth is a great big magnet. And when you realize that he was obsessed with magnetism, and then you see, you find out that, the east wall of the Coral Castle is a line of constellations that's a star map, and it's not just a star map, it's a clock, and it's not just a clock, but we can tell what time it is. And it's September 10th, 1923, which is the exact time of what's called a syzygy, or an alignment where there are four celestial objects in a row. Venus, the sun, the moon, and the earth. Take that concept and apply that to magnets. And what you see is the trigger mechanism for a Gauss rifle. And it is the alignment of these magnetic spheres, much like Ed used the celestial alignments, I believe. And I think the evidence does seem to indicate that he used this as part of the process to building megalithic structures in a way that none of us have ever seen before. In some of my past videos, I think that it is fair to say that I tend to, sometimes I go a little too far in my assertions and my theories based on if you just go by the evidence in hand. I'm a human being, and I get excited, and I get lost in it. But the evidence itself is profound, no matter what the interpretation is. And I think that discovering the evidence itself is of monumental importance and should beg for further investigation by other interested parties. And if nothing else comes out of this, I really hope that that is something that does end up happening, that even if we can't solve it immediately, which would be so nice. Sorry, no coffee. That at least it should open the door to let people know that it appears that the answers are there and that Ed left them behind for us. No matter what happens in my investigations after this, I believe that finding out that he left the secrets behind is my greatest achievement in research of the Coral Castle. I am so hoping that you tune in on Coast to Coast AM and Spaced Out Radio, and that you do invest in the Leedskalnin Codex, Breakthroughs in Understanding the Coral Castle. What is contained inside is not just what has been shown and compiled in my videos, although even if I did that, I think that is still a great thing, because it's nice to be able to have a hard copy that you can reference and carry in your pocket. But there are things in there that I have never said anything about. Little details that, if you are perceptive, I think you will immediately recognize it when you see it. I am very grateful for all of my subscribers who have stuck with me through the years. For all the new subscribers, I want to welcome you to the channel and encourage you to learn as much as you can, and feel free to do your own thinking. I have at times wanted to perpetuate my theory over anyone else's, and you know, that's not fair. It's not right. I'm just so emotionally invested in this that I can get carried away. But that is not the tact I want to take anymore. I want to have a kinder, gentler, and more generous approach to how we objectively solve the mystery of how Ed Leedskalnin built the Coral Castle. When we find out how that was done, we will be able to do so much more than that. Thank you very much for being a part of this channel, for being a part of this journey, for the encouraging messages I receive. I want to thank you for buying my book. It's already the #1, is the top new release in its category, which is gravity and magnetism, because I believe that what Ed was showing is a new paradigm in physics, and the argument for it is compelling, as is the evidence that I have uncovered, which proves that Ed knew something that we did not, and that the Coral Castle is the evidence of that. Please stick with me. Please keep supporting me. And I hope that you do go and support me by buying the book, because this is one of the ways that I am trying to raise the revenue needed to be able to perform the experiments based on these discoveries. And I really do intend on experimenting and trying to replicate what has been coined by people before me as the Leedskalnin effect. So if you support me, it will come back in the form of more work. I'm really looking forward to the interviews with George Norrie on Coast to Coast and with Tessa Thomas on Spaced Out Radio. I can't wait to hear what people think about the book, and this is a very exciting time for me and for this field of research. And I can't tell you how much it means to me to have you come along with me. This is R.L. Poole. This is the channel Talking to Leedskalnin, and I'll talk to you later.